I will right now quickly review the sentences that we've come up with for chapter 4 and 5 and up through 6 here, because that's what we do on this method. So in chapter 4, the first sentence we came up with is Seth's interpretation of the word progress. And he said progress has to do with spiritual and psychic focus. In other words, he wants us to understand that overall, throughout all our lifetimes, in order to progress, we would progress in spiritual terms, and we would progress in psychic terms. That's what he wants us to focus on. The next week, the sentence we came up with was, my soul is individualized spiritual energy. So what that means is we exist outside this physical universe, and our spiritual energy is sent into the physical world, and it's all individualized. So everything we see is our soul. I am my soul, and my soul is individualized spiritual energy. The next sentence that we came up with the following week was, I can be quiet and perceive with my inner senses. And that's to help us become aware that we have not only our 5 outer senses, we also have numerous inner senses that really have not been taught to us. The most obvious one that we hear of is intuition, yet that's more of a conglomeration of a number of inner senses. The more you pay attention to your mind, your dreams, your visions, your feelings, your inner perceptions, knowing something just automatically, telepathy, all of these inner aspects will help us learn our inner senses. And the more you focus on them, the more you can practice perceiving with them, and they can actually lead to a more fulfilling life. The next sentence we came up with is, objects are a translation of my thoughts and desires. So what that means is that the objects that we see always around us are directly related to what we desire and what we think, in a very deep way, more deep than we can possibly imagine, because it turns out we actually are creating everything that we see. And that gets a little bit complicated. I won't mention the details at this moment, but Seth actually explains that in this book. The next sentence we came up with are, my emotions activate coordinate points. And the deal there is he's chosen the term coordinate points, and these are scattered throughout the space or space-time that we are immersed in. And our emotions, as they build up and we build a strong desire, our thoughts, our electromagnetic energy is sent through these coordination points. They are transformed, in other words magnified, in order to create the objects or events that we see around us. The next sentence we came up the next week is this, and this is actually very, very important. If you learn nothing else, you want to learn this. 4 words. Intent is the key. Alright? So, literally, without even speaking, if you just think and you intend, that will create. And you can turn that over in your mind and experiment with it. The good thing, yes, the good thing about all of this is everything we're learning, everything I'm saying, can be experimented with and tested out. Because you can actually do these experiments and see how your reality changes from day to day. The next one we came up with is, I am infinite and forever, which sounds very similar to the one we came up with last week, which is I, as my soul, grow and create forever. So it hints at and tells us that I am my soul. I am my soul acting out for the benefit of learning. And we'll start right now where I told you. I know my soul is extremely powerful. And so that will be learned through this exercise. I know my soul is extremely powerful. One of the reasons of learning that is so we understand we are extremely powerful. So why don't we use this part of the sentence? My universe is idea construction. Will that work for you?
Yeah.
My soul creates the worlds that we experience. Why don't we go with that? Okay. And that sort of summarizes what we learned.